Hi, my name's Maddie, and for the past year and a half, I've been living in my converted minivan, going to as many U.S. states as possible to go on an outdoor adventure and drink a local beer. This is part 2 of my time in Wyoming. Picture this, you're a young person living in the 80s. You apply to work at this place called Yellowstone. You've heard of it, sounds cool, but when you get there, it's like nothing you've ever seen before. You keep working there, seasonal work, and one winter you have a crush on one of your coworkers. You guys get together and stay together and then move back east to where one of your families live because there's more jobs out there. And then you get married and have 3 kids, a son, a daughter, and another son, and the daughter is the best, and you live happily ever after. That's the story of how my parents met. That's why it means so much to me that part 2 of my time here in Wyoming, my last state in the lower 48, we are going to explore Yellowstone, do some short hikes, see some sights that my parents recommended to me, kind of follow in their footsteps. First stop, West Thumb Basin Geyser. First stop, West Thumb Basin Geyser. First stop, West Thumb Geyser Basin. Well, wasn't that cool? I kept thinking, I wish I could be in that pool right now. It looks warm. But really, if I did, I would die. It's a really cold morning, though. It's like in the 40s now. It's warming up. But overnight, it was like 27 as the low. Also, last night, I figured out, okay, 2 nights ago, I thought I heard an animal moving around outside my van, but last night I realized it was a mouse inside. So woke up this morning, there's mouse poop everywhere, and now I had to figure out how to get it out of here. All my food, I put it in a place where I think it would be hard to get to as a mouse, and I looked at it this morning and nothing's chewed through, so I don't know what it's eating. It's been hard being in my minivan in mid-October here in Wyoming. That's kind of the downside of a minivan, is that you can't insulate it very well. But I'm hoping today is the morale boost I need. Now I'm at the lake area. I was hoping to find someone to ask in Lake Hotel or something, or the visitor center up here, but it's all closed down. So if you are coming here in the fall or the spring, just be aware that a lot of services are going to be closed off. Anyway, I wanted to stop here and ask which one of these mountains is Avalanche Peak, because that's where my dad proposed to my mom. Last night I was texting with my dad and I got a text that said, Avalanche Peak, that's where I proposed to your beautiful mother. And I was like, aw, my dad is the nicest person ever, but he doesn't really talk that mushy-gushy all the time, So I was like, oh, that's so sweet. And we went on with the conversation. Then I got a text that said, by the way, it's me, Mom, that said that about proposing to your beautiful mother. She is so funny. I know there's an app to look up which peak is which, but I don't have that app and I don't have service to download it. So we're just gonna imagine it's one of them out there. And if you're wondering, why don't I just go to Avalanche Peak and hike it? Well, I'm trying to just spend one day here, and that would take some time driving there and hiking. Also, my dad said he doesn't recommend doing Avalanche Peak this time of year, especially solo. There are grizzly bears in Yellowstone, and they do occasionally kill people. While I do think fear shouldn't stop you from doing the things you love, a lot of times fear is there for a reason, you know? Like, while there are some things where I think you could overcome your fear or feel the fear and do it anyway, I don't think you really should do everything. You know what I mean? Our next stop is the Grand Canyon of Yellowstone, and I chose a viewpoint called Artist Point. Well, wasn't that neat? And that yellowish rock is where Yellowstone gets its name. If you're planning your own trip here, my personal park experts did recommend to me to do Mount Washburn, but that trail is 3 miles up, 3 miles down, and I don't really have a whole lot of time or a whole lot of energy today, so not gonna do that, but if you wanted to, you could. I just pulled over. This is Fountain Flats Drive, but I saw buffalo in the distance and wouldn't be a trip to Yellowstone without taking pictures of buffalo. It's about 2:30 now, and I am getting really tired. Just driving, and it's warm, and I didn't sleep well, so I am so sleepy. So, it's just in time that I'm getting to Biscuit Basin. My dad said at the end of the boardwalk there is a trail that goes on to Mystic Falls, about 3 miles or so. So, let's get my lazy butt up. A sign at the beginning of the trail said that Biscuit Basin is named after some biscuit-shaped rocks. And these, well, I don't think they're shaped like them, but they definitely look like they have the texture of biscuits. If you are not from the U.S., biscuits probably means a different thing to you. I'll put a picture of what I mean on the screen. It's kind of like a dinner roll, except you could also have it for breakfast. They're flaky, buttery, delicious. Looks like it's the whole loop that's 3 miles. So since I have an option, I'm going the short way. was a nice little hike, wasn't it? I liked that it walked through all those, I forget what they're called, but springs and stuff, so that, I think they're called geothermal springs. Anyway, glad that we walked through those because there's so many, like Grand Prismatic and all these beautiful, colorful things in Yellowstone that I haven't seen yet today. So if I was spending more time, I definitely could go see those, but this Biscuit Basin was just the right amount for me. For the last stop of the day, I went to what I think is the most iconic part of the whole park. Can you guess what it is? If you said Old Faithful, you were right. I see it going off right now, so we're gonna have to wait about another half hour before it goes off again. But that's still pretty cool, you know, how faithful it is, how regular. I made a huge mistake. It's not every half hour, it's every hour and a half. I remembered wrong. I guess I'm not Little Miss Yellowstone after all. But if you were looking forward to seeing an Old Faithful eruption in this video, I'm sorry, it just didn't work out. The next eruption was at 5:30, and if I stayed, it would have been dark by the time I got out of the park. I made it outside of the park and I found a little spot that overlooks this creek or river. And so for the last time on my journey through the lower 48, I'm gonna drink a beer in a beautiful place. I had Cowboy Gold Coastal Ale by Snake River Brewing. It was really good, really crisp. Put our river through your liver. Buffalo. Between Yellowstone and Grand Teton, if you go to the west, there are some free campsites with pit toilets and trash service. So really the nicest free campsites you could ask for. That was so awesome. But it was cool because I think I saw a moose from a distance, kind of a setup like this where like I was looking across a river into a meadow and I think I saw some moose. Just one of those moments, you know. Oh yeah, by the way, why I bring up that campsite is that while I was sitting by the river last night, I was thinking how the first couple sips of beer, I sip so much, and then I make the last little bit last for like a half hour or hour or something, so long. But it's like the closer you get to the end of something, the more you savor it. That's what I'm trying to think about in life too, is savoring every moment, just like a beer. And now this time, my beer is like up to here right now. So I'm gonna savor all of this, not just the last little bit that I stretch out. As I've been sitting here, I've been thinking back through the past year and a half of my life. Living in my van, going on outdoor adventures, drinking local beer. It's more than I can put into words. There's been a lot of times I learned lessons, and there's been a lot of times I didn't really learn. There wasn't an obvious lesson that I learned. It sucked. Like being cold and having a mouse in your car. But it was so worth it. So worth every struggle to be seeing the world and living life the way I want to. And it kind of, I know it probably feels watching this video like this is the end of things, but it's not. It's the last of the states. But during November, I'm going to have every night, I'm going to be rewatching a few videos from Road Trip Brew-S-A and having a live with that. So like you could watch along with me, get my director's commentary. And then after that, I want to do a long video about this whole experience, the story of what happened, the highs, the lows, what I learned. I want to do a video about nature in the US and beer throughout the US. And what was the last one? I forget. There's a fourth one, and there's a fourth video idea I had. Oh, like the best of this is the most blank place. Oh, if you have suggestions for that, you should put it in the comments. The most blank looking place, the best type of blank, I don't know, but whatever you want to know, type it in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. This might be some people's first video, but I know there's people watching this that have been with me a long ways, seen me go through a lot. I definitely started out and I was like, yeah, I'll film it. We'll see what's happening. We'll see how that goes, filming this experience. But filming and documenting has enriched the experience for me. You know, I'm not just sitting here thinking like, oh, this is pretty. I'm sitting here thinking, oh, I should film those pops of yellow up there where the aspens are. I should film the sun as it sets on those trees across there. And it's just given me a greater appreciation. I notice more things because I'm filming them. In the center of your screen, the trees don't have a shadow, but on the left and the right they do. And that's just a coincidence between where I'm sitting and where the sun is right now. It looks so cool. I really hope that everyone gets the chance to do something they've always wanted to do a lot of work, but feel rewarded for it, and maybe do something they're afraid of. Even if you're not overcoming the fear, just do it anyway, you know? Just start. And I really got to get up now because I'm getting cold and I have to go make dinner. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Hope to see you next time. Bye! So many emotions.